Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of the Foolsopolis here in City Skylines. Where last episode, guys, we set up our brand new exploitation area. We kind of set up a nice little area by the river. We got two ships coming in and we built a highway leading all the way down to it, and we're ready to connect up our rail all for the future expansions. Now, it's a good job we've got that in because we can now focus on building the rest of the city. Today I want to try and get some industrial area up and running and kind of get rid of the old one that we had as a little bit of a placeholder. I want to do a few more expansions on getting some more connections to the highway because I've got to get this infrastructure down. I'm trying to do a little bit every episode, trying to get it all in. And hopefully we're going to extend the city, move some more people in, and also extend the public transport network too. So if you guys are enjoying this, I want your boy to continue to build, hopefully up to 1 million population. Then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you're new around here, to make sure you do subscribe so you're notified when that next episode does come out. But we are back anyway, and this is what we kind of got up and running. So we've got the highway running down, which comes down to here right now. Two exploitation areas all set up with the train lines ready to rock and roll in their different directions. So we've got it in. We're good to go. It's now going to enable us to continue the expansions because I can now use it, which is really, really exciting. So first what I want to look at then is basically I want to replace this. I want to get rid of this industrial area we've got right now and slowly start building a new one. Now we've got this in, I can kind of build one slightly a little bit closer. But to be able to build it around this region, I need to do a little bit more infrastructure work to understand where I want the roads to run and all that kind of jazz. So let's see what we can get up to then. So first things first then, I'm going to take a look at this road. I'm going to bring it down. I'm going to run a couple of these 4-lane roads out and about. Hopefully might even lead to us giving us a few more kind of highway connections. So we'll see how things rock and roll. So from here then, we've got the beautiful one with the trees on. We'll kind of keep it to that. And we're going to bring this down and cut it straight in, which this then is going to lead... I'm trying to think where we'll probably have like a highway turn just there. So that will kind of lead to then kind of go straight, which that will kind of connect down from somewhere here where we'll have a connection there. So it'll kind of meet in the crisscross junction. But where this junction takes place is also going to depend on where that connects down to there to run all the way down. Ooh, interesting. So if I pick a random spot, let's just say I pick here, for example. And if I run this down to here, do you know what? I'm going to say that would be okay, but the bend would be non-existent. So what if I went a little bit more over and then push that down this way? See, I think that would be the way to go. So if I bring that down, yeah, let's just bring it right down to 170 there. Now, it's a bit of an awkward little turn here on the highway, but, I mean, there's not really much I can do with it. Well, key this quickly through right now and then push it down a little bit further because I don't really know whether, because I think I'm going to get rid of this road here, push it maybe a little bit further down. Or maybe even push it a little bit further up. Who knows? So I just want to get this now connection in. So if I come out by at least a 30 mark. And I know that this here is a 23. Going up is a 20. So I'm going to go for the 20 by 20. I can get that in. There we go. 20 by 20 on the old bend there. And now we have some beautiful connection. So we might even have a roundabout there at some point, who knows? Who knows right now? But also, this road here is going to extend down as well. Now, it's not going to have a little on and off ramp just here for this. I'm thinking whether to do one here. I don't know, because I've got one that... Do you know what? No. Because I've got one here, and I've got one there. Having one here will be a little bit too much. So let's just keep it as it is. Keep it as it is. It's all good. It's all good, boys. So running this through then. So these are our kind of direct routes and direct roads. We have to again run something up there. We'll have a little on and off ramp maybe here. Because we need one before they get to this area. Otherwise they'll be kind of coming down here and then dropping back underneath. And we don't really want that to happen. But this is where we're going to build our industrial area anyway. So we've got all this in then. Now I'm going to pick a spot here. which I should really be paying attention to what I'm doing up here. This is another one. So I could just come directly off this, but whether this road goes in is going to be the on and off ramp. So we've got here, that is a full 60. That to there is a 40. I know we're doing 40 gaps. So in reality, the next 40 is there. Is that 40? That's a 38. Oh, it's a tough one. Right, if I did that to there, that becomes a 40. So that is my 40 mark here. Okay, delete this again. Right, bear with me on this, guys. Because once I've got this in, and then we're on to a winner. We are legit onto a winner. Right, bring that directly under. Bring it all the way down. There's our connection. So it's very gritty. I get it. It's very gritty, but we're going to change the alignments. Like here, it's going to bend to align straight with this little area, like how it bends just there. This will probably bend to run in a different parallel too. I'm just trying to get the kind of the skeleton all set up for this kind of area. So for now, just kind of quickly delete this because we need to now figure out how we set in all this up. So it's not quite. That should be a 10, right? Yeah. It's not quite going to be perfect. So that there should be a 10 that way, but then bam, straight into there. So I'm now 10 away on each side, which I can then go on to create my little on and off ramp. So as long as I've got this one in here, I don't really mind too much that I haven't created this big interchange junction just there. At least I've got something nearby in the highway side of things that I can then slowly start to build up my industrial area and then move that one. Thus, by then building this up, I can then run a metro line probably down to this area to then transport the people to and from work, which is actually quite exciting. So, with that said then, I want to replicate this. Now, I know this is 10 away from each side. I just can't quite remember how I actually built it. I'll be honest with you. So, it's 10 up on both sides. We know that. So, that should be the easiest part. And if I elevate it, oh, okay. I kind of now remember doing this because of how awkward it was to build with the single roads, the on and off ramp roads. So there to there, okay. And if I just quickly, what would be the best way to do this? Upgrade them like that then at this point. So that's flipping that way. That's going that way. Sweet. Right, okay. We've got the idea. So it comes to there, then I know we're doing a, from what I can remember, was it a 25 or was it a 26? And why is it not allowing us to do the, okay, we'll figure this out right now. So where am I? Was it a 25 or a 26? I know that one says 25 there. I suppose it's quite difficult to now kind of find out. In my head, I've got 26. So I'm going to go with a 26, okay? I've got 26 in my head. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I'm going to roll with it anyway. Right, to there. To there. So that is literally how we got it set up previously. So bring that back down to there. Bring that back down to there. Did I do the lane math on this? I didn't, no. Nor did I do it there. Yes, okay. Right, so we got plenty of stuff we need to kind of squeeze in right now. So down here then, this is the normal road. Bam, bam, bam. Pass it all the way through underneath. Glorious. Now, what we're going to do now then is we're going to then align everything to ramp up beautifully. So there we go. There to there. Boom. There to there. Boom. There to there. Boom. Sweet. And then we need to do the lane math. So this reduces down to a 2 lane, which in reality needs to happen on these, which I don't know how I forgot to get this in, but that's how it works. That's how it works, and we have our other one just over here. Ooh, what happened there? So there's no need for them power lines right now. They can be deleted because I do have the mod. So we can get rid of all these power lines. I'll just get rid of them to there. Now that's like the... Oh no, I've got this one. Oh, okay. So I managed to do it to this one. I just kind of forgot about the others. Makes sense, doesn't it? That makes sense. So let's just do the lane management then. So you can see how it works. 2 straightforward, the 1 turns off, and the reason that's why it splits down. Then 2 straightforward, and then 1 turns on. I'm just going to double check I've got it for all of these right now, because I've upgraded the road. It might have deleted anything I had before, if there was anything there anyway. So, same for these. Bam, 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 bam. And did I have it over here? I'll double check anyway. No, I didn't. Oh, oh, wrong buttons, boys. Bam, bam, bam. Okay, sweet. Right, so we've got now something set up in a way, and then which is going to look good. We got the through roads coming through as well, which is good. So we kind of have the highways if you want to kind of skip big areas really quickly, or we have the little kind of side streets that get to other areas with more demand on the traffic. So now we need to build that up then, this industrial area. Now I've already thought about something. I think here we're going to do an entry point for a canal to go in and then skedaddle that way so we can get some cool stuff going on, whatever it may be. But there won't be one here, so I'm going to kind of start by building my industrial area around this kind of section. So we also have this road here, by the way. Don't forget that. So I'm thinking here, I'm going to make this bend to go straight up, which will kind of connect off that. And then this will kind of come in to a line there, but I don't know where the alignment's going to be. So it's kind of, again, throw a few little ideas out. So let's say I come up a bit to kind of keep us off being too close to that. So if I stuck it out here by 20, right, and then brought this down. So how far is that away from there? That is 76. Okay, let me delete it and put it all back in. So if I bring it down by an 80, and then do a 10 that way, 10 that way, because we can stick to our 40 by 40 kind of setup then, can't I? I can have one little road that pops out. Again, we'll see how long that lasts. And then... right, so to get a snap onto that road... Ooh, can I even pick it up from that distance? Right, another 10 out. Okay, so that's 30. What, a 9? You telling me it's a 9? Okay, if I kill it back by 10, that then should be a 19. 19... Let me kind of get a little bit further down. 19. Oh, that's difficult, man. And what's the distance here? A 30. So if anything, I need to bring this out by an 11. Right, and that should be the perfect 19 by 19 bend. There we go. So you can see how it then turns away, and then we kind of really changing up how we do a lot of our formats. So we're not the same old plain simple grids basically. So that will stay like that then. I'll bring this out a bit further. So again we can have a little bit of structure. And then if I delete that back, and what's the bends here? So that would be around about a 20 odd. Obviously that's a little bit too far. So if I bring it up by another 10. Alright, 22. And obviously that is a 18. Right, we'll run with the 18. And there we go. So that will continue that way. But you can see how we're creating shapes. Not just rectangles and squares. But an area here where we're now about to work with. We've created this unique little shape that we can kind of utilize a bit more. Right then, let's build an industrial area. So, should we go to the industrial style roads? I think we will. And let's first start then by we'll use this corner as the structure. So I know that is if it will let me see, 10. And there is 12. So was that 10? No, the 10's here. So if I go 2 and then in, that should be okay, there you go. There's our 10 by 10. So if I come out here by 10, go up here by 10, kill you off. We've now got that alignment. Perfect. I mean, technically we should have came off by 11, shouldn't I? Because we kind of lose one. Yeah, let me do that again, guys. Let me do that again. So that's a 10. But I've got to come up by 1. So that will be the 11. Right, and then it's so difficult to do. Right, delete. So that then should be, that is our 11 that way, and that's our 11 that way. We got the 4x4 selection. So is that a 10 here? That's a 10 there. Perfect. Okay, we got there in the end. So 10 by 10. So the reason you do it, you stick it out by 11, because this road's a little bit wider. You then get your 4 zonable squares that you can utilize. So going all the way down here, that's a 40. So if I came up by so that will be technically a 30 at that point, and then cut in. And then that will be another 30 there, and then we go this way. Now we're building pretty close to it, so rather than do the usual straight connection, what if I went for a little bit of a bend here instead? So as we're coming up to it, we're slightly turning away. Great thing is, this doesn't feel like a separate area no more, because obviously we can go underneath it. So at least we can kind of work with this then. This is good. So bringing this down by 20, that's a 30 there. I'll run this up. So we're working with 30 by 30s in this area, basically. And I could cut straight down here. Ooh, that's a point. Because it's happening on the straight on the bend though, isn't it? I mean, it will work. It's not a problem, but we're instantly bending away. So if I come out by an 11 here, and then just do a little thing there, it doesn't really matter where we're cutting in. But a 21 by a 15. So if I do a 15 by a 15, so we've done a 30, and that's where we would cut in there at this point. So a 30 there. Well, it's a 15 by 15 bend. Would you class it as that being a 30? It's quite misleading because it will be cut down to there. That's your 30 there, and apparently that's meant to be a 30 by 30. We'll roll with it. We'll do another 30 cut just here. And because you would normally have one there, but I don't want it because of this. I want to keep this open in case we need a roundabout. And then we'll run that up to there. So we've got some grids, which will be kind of handy. And then, yeah, so first then, so that should be a 30 down, which it is. Bring that by another 30 across. So if I bring that directly up, which would go through up to there. And then we are switching the alignments of this area then. Which only work here because the alignments can stay the same over on this side. So that's 40 straight down. So if I go by 9 and do 20, there we go, perfect. So that will be 41. So there's the bend. Now I think I'm going to do the same here. What we did a minute ago. Bend like that instead. So even though we can kind of go up to it slightly a bit more, we'll just kind of keep away from it because we're acknowledging the on and off ramps, basically. So we'll have a connection straight down into here. Keeping all this free and open to allow the traffic to flow through. You know, the more we do that, the better. So straight down to there, then there's a 39. So this is where it kind of slightly off right now. I could set this up to be perfect, which you know what I'm going to do. because when I zoned all this off those roads, and you kind of forget. So that is a 30 all the way down. So 30 there. 30 down to here. And then we'll push that. Right, delete that bit there. So if I push this through, that's a 29. Which you will lose it. Because the space in between this is not perfect. And what I could do is you can run a road there and a road here, which you don't really get to utilize as much, but buildings can be placed either side, so you still get to utilize the dead space underneath, which is really handy. And then can we pick up the bend so early on? A 9 by 9. And then run that down. So you got these little kind of, solid cut through roads, which is handy. You got the, straight down there, but you can kind of get down to there as well. We see how this lasts. So what will be interesting is when we start to build the industrial area here, what they choose in terms of a route to get to the exploitation area. Do they stay on the ground and drive this way around to get to it? Or will they, come up, wherever to get through here to jump on the highway to get there? Because technically, the speed limit is a lot higher. They get there quicker. It'll be interesting to see. So before I fill all the rest of, the puzzles in, I want to work with this. So I know that then I need this to be an 11 and go that way and that way. So this is where then I would choose to upgrade that there. And if I just delete this bit section just here, so then I got my perfect grid set up. Now the difference is with this, I might have to do a 25 there. If I delete that and then bring this bend in, I don't know where I'm going to connect. Okay, 12 by 12. Let me just kind of play around with this. I don't know how I'm going to connect, or if I even want to connect a road into there. Because I could say I'll come off it about there and just kind of bent it in. Does it make much sense to have a road connection here? Or do I have the road connection anywhere there I can snap it? Oh, a 5? Oh, that's an interesting one. So a 5 by 5. It's only a slight bend, but you kind of get a more flat approach onto that road. See, they might then all kind of get down here to drive down there. Do you know what? No, I'm going to keep him away from this road on that. Because they'll all choose that as the exit route. And I can see that road being overloaded. So yeah, we'll keep it like this. We'll keep that road free because it's the main drag road down to here, the industrial area. We'll keep as little connections coming off it as possible. So let's build this little section up a bit more then. So we'll have a straight section going up. Now here, what I could do, it's a full 30. So if I come out by 15, and then we'll do a 5 by 5 bend. And there we go, just utilize more of that space. I could pass that through. And then, what if I did, let me play with this design here. So it's pretty much mimicking what we've got on that side. So by a 15, obviously cut through. Now that there, a 7 by 7 could be the connection that bends down to connect to this. So you've got this little ring road going around, even though it's not a ring road, if that makes sense. Again, very interesting. So if I come out by 5 here, come out by 5 there, could I swing a connection in here? 6 by 7, again, I'll take it. Which runs a straight there. So you can see I'm now trying to transition that grid method to then a slightly angled grid method. Not all of it you're going to be able to fill all the nooks and crannies and gaps. But I'll tell you what, boys, we'll give it a good go. So if I go 15 here and then do a 10 by 10 is a bit much, but another 5 by 5. And then bam to here. And it'll be nice then to connect that directly up, which would be a 7 by 7 straight in. I'll run that directly up to there. And then if I was to have a connection here, it will be one short turn. 4 by 4. Push that in. And then we'll keep that space a little bit open as well. So, nice little road layout. When you look at it from the inside of it, you got like a ring road going around the outside. You got like a little inner loop. A few little passover routes kind of connect to where you want to get to. But ultimately, it kind of keeps us all open. And obviously keeps this section kind of free. So if you're turning off the little highway roads here, you're coming down here. Right turn, right turn, right turn in. Say you're coming down here or even down there. You know, it's just standard turns. Keeps it quite simple. But I'm interested to see how they all kind of connect to it. Now, before we go down that road and get it all connected, public transport. That's what we want to think of then. And also the train line as well. That's going to be a very important one to kind of get some import exports. Now, do I run this up in a direction where we can maybe get some import exports coming in? Or is that area a little bit too close? I think if it's a run one up, the train will go up this way. Maybe it'll be a stop here. Not directly inside of it. That would be the way to go for it. There's so much stuff you kind of got to think about now, isn't there? There really is. So if I take a look at the public transport side of it, if I go to these little new stations, is there a way I can implement a metro line? Now that is all train station crossover. This is the Metro Underground Plaza, which is a large one. I think it's a little bit OTT. The Sunken Metro Bypass, where you get one line in there. That might not be too bad. If it's implemented there, which is good walking distance for everyone around. If I pushed it up there a bit more, so it's more inclusive. Right, or even here. If I put it there. Or even there. I think we'll put it there. No, here. We'll put it there. Slightly away from the main drag of 4-lane roads. So implement that in. So it's nothing much apart from just your standard metro station. And then for now I'm going to connect it to do I connect it to this line, or is that my line that's going to go in that direction? And do I build a third line that comes off, which then turns to kind of meet us down there? Decisions now, boys. Now we've got some serious decisions. Could I utilize this in any way? Nah. I'm getting too carried away now at this point, aren't I? Right, metro line. We'll get the public transport line in, at least have a connection going back and forth. That we can utilize to then start moving the citizens down to that area. So obviously here, if I get it to the point where we're 10 away, which a connection there will be 34. So I'm looking for a 24, which that will be a 10 away. But at this moment, we bring that 10 by 10. Do you reckon it's a bit too close? I think it's a bit too close. I'll come back by another 10 and then do it. So this 10 here will bring down to 0. And then by another 10, I'll bring down by minus 10. Okay. So what I'll do as well is I'm going to run a secondary line, do the exact same thing we've just done. And then we'll slope everything. So if I get that very close to it, so there's fine. So that's your node there, which that will be your node here for 0. And that will be your node there for minus 10. So running this in, bam. We are then looking for a, what is that bend here? Will we find out? It's like a little 4, isn't it? So if I did that there, I'm hoping it's not going to be too much trouble. That's the only thing we can kind of hope for. Right, let's get rid of these power lines. Might as well get rid of all of them now, right? As we no longer need them. Delete you, get rid of all of you. Saving those nodes. Beautiful. Because it's a multiple platform station. So we should be able to uphold it and handle it. So we'll see. Okay. Alignment. Let's kind of play around with this right now. So if I went from there to, let's say, here. What's the drop? Okay, it's not too bad. Yeah. It does mean that we can't then build any underpasses for that, which is fine. It's just part of the design, isn't it? Yeah. So for now then, that line that then turns left will be the one that goes in that direction and hooks up to here. It will eventually have like maybe a stop there, but until we build that, it's going to be non-existent. Okay, be a non-existent stop for now. So, but I'll run the actual, what do you call it, tunnel in that direction. So if I come from this one, this 20 upwards, and just kind of have a thought process that maybe we're going to do it 20 away from this road, we kind of get an idea of where we're going to be pushing it. So if I do that by a 15, that becomes a 9. That there is a 7. Right, delete. So, ooh. So that's a 19. If I do a 9 there, then all I want to do is a 10 by 10. Little 10 by 10 connection. Bam. Standardized. And then run this down as far as we can. And then I'm going to bring it so far in, because we also have to create said bend. So that is for this very difficult to figure out. So if I do another 10 there, it very briefly appears. So I know it's going down to there. 11. Right, do 11 by 10, that's fine. It's underground, we're not going to see it. But that's how that line will run. And then we'll have another little platform station there. I mean, we could even have, like, whatever station goes there could be a multiple platform one where you have another line that passes through up in that direction. But, yeah, it's going to do the job for us anyway. It's going to do the job for us. So we can then start thinking about then getting rid of this industrial zoning right now. So if I get rid of it all, it'd be easy to do this. And then start replacing it around this side. So we'll probably do a little bit of a combination between offices and this type of industrial. So we'll do the dirty industrial inside of these areas. There we go. And then the offices will be more on the outer skirts next to the 4-lane roads, because obviously they don't really have any traffic. So we're at least not having many vehicles turning in, right? Now we'll also try and do some kind of like nice little, not a park area, but like a nice little area where people want to have their lunch and whatnot. I might get like one of those industrial statues down or something like that. But the majority of it is going to be dirty industrial. That is like the whole gist of this area. And there's going to be more than there was originally. So we are really building this area up. So if we go for there for now, we got some offices here we can kind of throw in. Just there. We'll do some offices then around here, because it's all part of the same scenario. And just do offices to here. We'll run some offices just up here. And we'll do this little section here, offices too. So there's a little bit for everybody. Those little, where the offices are zoned, those blue areas, which are not really polluters, there'll be like a nice little clean air zone, if you kind of think about it that way. I won't go right up to the edges, because you never know if roundabouts are going to kind of go down there. And continue the office zoning. And then back to the industrial. So getting this right up to the highway, because that's the only type of building that's really going to work around there. Bam, 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 bam. I don't know if it will work too much like that. Or maybe there. So kind of give a little bit of a wide berth on the space. So there we go. A lot of zoning placed down right now to grow the industry. So that'll kind of have some time to kind of tick through. Haven't got to move those because we don't need any pipes or wires, so they can stay there for now. But we have our industrial area up and running. Now we'll set up the public transport side of it. So if I had it added in here, just a simple back and forth. So I can actually put it on this station, which is handy. So it really does separate between the two. Bring it back down to here, complete the line. It's just a starter line for now. We will extend it and expand it. But it's just enough right now so people can get to and from work. So we'll fast forward then. Let this area slowly build up. We have the on and off ramp anyway for the highway. So people can drive here if they must. But we don't have a interchange connection there between the two highways, so you've got to drive all the way up to there if you're on this one or whatever. But you get the point of it. You get the point of it anyway. So we'll give it some time. We'll give it some time to tick along. I'm not happy about the length differences between them, but I'll sort them out eventually. But we'll now slowly just spend our demand, and by spending our demand, it will also then generate a little bit of residential, which will grow the areas over here. So it should all slowly come together. It'll all slowly come together. Also, there's not enough workers, granted, because we don't really have the population for it just yet. But this exploitation area here and that first train line will come up this way and kind of go to there. We'll have like some form of a train station, which would be our first one, and then these two, one will go all the way up in this direction, and the other one will probably kind of follow the run of the river, and then these three, well, that's how we'll go in different directions as well. So we've got it all planned out in terms of how it's going to work. It's just implementing it as time goes on. So that's going to slowly spend that demand then. Any residential demand that we do have is also going to get spent because we've got, zoning for it anyway. So let it do what it's got to do. Are we seeing people coming out of this train station just yet? Where's the actual entry point? Oh, it's in the middle. Yeah, so people are now using it. Very good, boys. Very good. So just give it a little bit of time. That's all we could do. So while we're giving it a little bit of time then, let's take a look at some of those monuments. Not monuments, what they're called, unique buildings. And I want to take more a look at the Statue of Industry. Here we go. Which will be a good one to kind of throw in. So if I just whack it right there, and we'll do a couple of paths to kind of connect these areas up. We've got the Statue of Shopping, the Plaza, the Deaf one. Nah, I think we're good. I think we're good. So at least add this in. We'll do the one, we'll always do the one that's got the bike lane. No, the bike lane and walkway path. So don't want to be on the ground. So we come back up to Earth. And I'll run borderline straight there. I've kind of like anarchied it within. And then here, I'll go to there. Run that right down. We do it going across to there. Are we really going to struggle here? There we go. That's what I wanted, that connection there. So cut you straight in. And I want it right here as well, so get rid of that again. Oh, come up by 2. Okay, come up by another 1. Two by 2. So we're creating a nice little walkway. There's not really going to be much going on to it, but it just kind of connects a bunch of the areas up. And then if we get the road up and we can do a crossing right there. I can do one there. Throw one in the middle here to kind of utilize both of them. So if they're on this side, they can just cross there and walk in. Not really much going on. It's going to be a heavily polluted area anyway, but we're just kind of giving it more walkability. Just for that section anyway. A little bit of leisure. Kind of for the zoning. So 46 people are using it, and so it is being heavily used now right now by commuters getting to and from work and all that kind of good stuff. So that's good. Works out wonderful for us. Now we do have that residential we have to kind of spend that demand, but I think over here now as we've got that commercial demand, we'll now kind of add in some of that commercial zoning. So we've got some over there. We'll push this all the way up to literally just there. And spend that demand, and then everything else will get spent. Now, somebody commented about this train station because we still don't have the intercity trains coming in and out. Somebody said, yo, Seniac, it might be down to the fact that you first have to maybe build a generic station, the normal station, to start allowing them coming in, or, you know, or something like that. It might not be a case of they have to... You got to build it. Like, for example, if I placed it here, well, then it then starts spawn. Oh no! I tell a lie. I thought we had an issue, but there's an intercity train coming in straight away. Transporting people from the glass box transportation hub. Oh, this. Wait, where have you going to or from? Then going to Santa Rica. It does work then. My apologies. I thought it didn't. Or is it only working on that one side? I can't quite remember what the logistics were around it, but hey ho, we've got it working. So. What will be interesting now then is we are seeing some vehicles obviously use this to import export, because obviously it's quite easy. But it'll be nice to see. So if vehicles come down here and then do the turn to go in that direction, they're obviously going straight to the exploitation area, because for them it is a little bit quicker. Or if they're coming up this way and then turning that way, they're driving into the town area to drop the goods off at the commercial buildings. So heavily using the highway, which is really important, because they can gap large surface areas without, getting caught up in traffic. But you can see where the super demand mod will come in handy. I've already got like 13,000 population with this small stuff that I've got going on. So very, very, very good. Very good, boy. Very good. So let's then... Do we do more grid layouts right now? Maybe, but let me get rid of this, because this is going to be useless. Because we've kind of completely changed now how we're approaching that 4-lane road. So kill you off for now, because that might just be a case of where it kind of bends and goes up that way to connect into there. It could, that will continue down. I don't know if it's not going to go straight across. It's too close for a connection there. But I think I might run another highway through that area anyway. It's probably what I'll end up doing. But yeah, no demands peaking up right now because we've got so much zoning availability down that I've got to fill up all those gaps before anything else can now actually physically happen. But that's all good. Still so many people using that. Where's a little station just here? Very, very good, sir. Very good. Nice. Right. Happy where this is now progressing. So those little 4-lane roads, if I continue this going further down as well. So if I just initially create my little box. There we go. And then do as we please moving forward. But again, we've got a structure, which is I'm really excited about. I'm really excited about this structure. Okay, so we do need to kind of connect more of the highways up. So we've got to think about how we want to do this, which will probably be the generic stack interchange. I mean, we've got one over here, which I really overcomplicated this. There was no need for me to do so. But I ain't going to build it yet, because it can be a painstaking task, which can be annoying. So I'm going to leave it as it is, just for now. City's kind of vitals anyway. We do need some more garbage processing power, which is why we have like this kind of area anyway. where we could really utilize building a garbage plant. But we do need to give it good highway connection. Now I could build a little processing garbage plant here. Because what I could do, wherever they turn out, they can do a right turn, and then skedaddle out of here. But you do have to be a little bit careful. But that's for future plans anyway. It's like I want to do everything all at once, but I can't. Because I got to plan it methodically. And how I'm going to get all stuff connected up anyway. So, not too bad then. So we've reallocated the industrial area, which is sweet, mate. We've got a little kind of route on the go. So let's get some road planning set up then to kind of fill in all these gaps here. So, keeping to the industrial road. Because do I keep this an industrial area? Do you know what? Yeah, I'll keep this an industrial area. So I've got that's a 40 down from there. And then we're doing 30s that way, aren't we? So if I come out by here... Right, let me get this back on. So I've got to come out by 11. And then straight down to there's 41. If I come out by 29, that should be... Oh, that's a 12. Damn it. I've already spaced it. I don't know why I'm doing that. So 30, so that would be an 11. So 30, and that will be your connection in. So let's do this then. Go bam, 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 bam. So we got our little grid on the go right now for more zoning. Now I ain't got to follow anything like that because it's going to literally continue all the way through. But there will be a point here where it will change from the industrial road then to our kind of... Would you class it as a residential road? Your normal style of road? Or if we come up by a 25. Up by 25. I'll then push this way instead. Change the format of this. So that I could bring out by 7. That I could go the full 10. Let me delete this again. I just want to play around with this idea here. Again, interesting design. And then we'll then throw this then into continuing the straight under. 20. Bam, there. So, bringing this all the way down. Right, straight down to here. So that is an 18. So I've got to then figure out the bend on this. So 18 minus 11, which will be a 7. Ooh, okay. Not quite. Let's do it this way instead. 11. Bam. Right, delete that. Right, I'm going to delete all the way back. Because this is the longest side. It doesn't really matter how I kind of place or play around with this. So. We're doing over here then by... Was it 40 gaps? Yeah. So we've done 10 there. Another 30. Straight bang in. So that'll be 40. Straight bang in. Another 40. Straight bang in. And then that... connects in. So that's how we're going to do the rest of this. So, oh, this feels off, doesn't it? I don't know about you, it just feels off on that little section. So 10. We're going in that direction. So am I keeping it to that kind of design? I am, yes. So bam, bam. Run that so far up, and I think we'll kind of then slightly change just this side here. Running that parallel. And then running this one up. Well, that's a point. Am I going to have a road that cuts through there? Or keep it to them? I think we'll keep it to them. Because, again, there's no need to do that. Yeah. So that will give us that nice little space. I am going to do, because that the whole distance of that there is a 50. Have I just merged another road in within it? I think I just did, didn't I? Okay. So 50. So bring that back down to there. So 50. I mean, you could technically go the 60 route. And have that road underneath it. Because then I can have the little crossover. If I delete that one, replace it back in. Because I can have the crossover then at 30. Because you got to remember, this is going to be like an inner city area. So you got to have it close to the highway. It just makes sense, doesn't it? We'll have a big trumpet junction just here, pushing out down in that direction. Which will only be to kind of connect up there anyway. So then, if that's like that there. Right, if I just kind of quickly place this here to kind of give us an idea of where I'm having the alignment just there. Right, kill you off just here. I suppose this is the hardest part of doing all this, isn't it? Is getting the alignments. So from there, I mean, if I continued from here, push that down to there. But you know, we've got the same cut through. But coming off that, I'm thinking, what is the better idea for having? You know, the double road either side. This becomes a nice little feature of the area, doesn't it? And then this side, we'll run them all this way. If you get it right underneath the highway, you know, it feels like the slums. It feels like it's kind of a part of it, doesn't it? It's quite cool. Gives it a vibe. Right. So, continuing all this. Is that the perfect alignment? Yes. So, running all this up. And then straight down. So, I'll be having a connection here then. So, that is a 40. So, a connection there. And then that there would be a 38. So that there would be... I mean, would you have your connection here or would I have it here? It's interesting now, isn't it? I think we'll have it here. No. Actually, I will have it here. Because it could be the road that connects to there where these go down before. So we still get to keep that in. Man, you got to think about the future, guys. You got to think about the future layouts. But should run pretty fine for us. And then here we'll switch it all back up again now. So we'll then go back down to this kind of layout. But we do need to think about some park areas too. So if I just grid the whole thing, and then what we'll do is we'll delete some areas to build a little bit of like a city park inside of it. I think that would be like the better idea. So that is a 40 going up. So that's where we'll have our next connection just in there. So do these actually connect up? They do connect up. Now we've got them in, we can align them a little bit better. That's where the industrial ends and like the kind of residential kind of side of things kind of begins. So if I bring you down to here, so we got a straight connection. Just think a little bit different, wasn't it? And then the industrial road. So straight over. Or do I do it like this on this? Oh my goodness me. How did that even happen? We will never know. So get it in this format. Oh, that was perfect as well then. And then, because that is not, it's 23, we'll kind of cross that way instead. Then we can run those under that way. We've already got traffic happening already. Got to sort out all the traffic lights and stuff like that in this area. Is what we've got to do. So much to get planned right now. So much to get planned. But it's a big area to work with. We need more garbage. So let me drop a couple of garbage recycling things down. There we go, 2 more down. Hopefully that will kind of work our way through. So by having these gapped so often, yeah, they're through roads, but they're not the quickest route. So that kind of helps us. I'm going to delete this because this is kind of annoying me. Is that the metro? No, it's train. Metro here. So by -10, it didn't quite work out. Try that again by -10. Right, what we'll do, because it's not really working out the way I want it to. Why can we not grab the node of it? Interesting. Right, we'll stretch the other one. So it kind of looks, you know, similar in that sense. Right, not bad. So we've got a format on the go then. Got a lot of issues that we have to sort out. So it's not until you kind of like start to build the areas up, you then start to see where the issues kind of fall. A lot of them are down to the fact that they're trying to kind of get in and out of certain areas, which doesn't always work out the best for us. I mean, it doesn't help that there's traffic lights on some of these little junctions. So if we just do the basic stuff first then by getting rid of the traffic lights so they can kind of ease in and out of the area. Because just by getting rid of the traffic lights, it does solve like 90% of the road problems. But also it doesn't help that we haven't got correct lane system set up. Now, it would be nice to have like a little double lane going on just there. So you can see how they kind of crisscross over. I mean, it's not the best way to set the junction up, but because it looks already like it's working out pretty fine. But if I just quickly set this up, so that will kind of go over to there. That will be the cut into here. I mean, the traffic's gone. Just by getting rid of traffic lights, again, like I said, it solves it. But you need a double lane there and there to kind of have 2 vehicles turn on the on and off ramps simultaneously from both directions. So you kind of need to add and bulk it up a bit more. But it ain't too bad. It ain't too shabby for how it's going. We've kind of got rid of that traffic anyway. So that was a pretty easy one. Don't want to turn despawn off just yet. But for the first time, we're actually turning a little bit of a profit on the old weekly. It'll be a while before we get out of debt. That's why I don't want to turn unlimited money off just yet. Wow, look at that. 17,500 people living here right now. So it's only going to get bigger and better. I think next episode we'll fill all these little gaps around here in. We'll also get that additional station placed around here roughly, to which connects up to that little lane. And we'll also think about where we can extend some of our canal systems too. A lot of stuff we got to get done, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. Until next time, I'll see you all soon. So good.